Good evening, all. My name is Rick Starr. I'd like to welcome you to the Tuesday evening meeting of our Golden Speakers Toastmasters Club. I'd like to open this meeting by introducing our president. Here she is, the one, the only, Jean Symington Craig.
Of course, we're all the one and onlys, right? Each one of us is a one and only. And here at Toastmasters, we learn how to express that one and onlyness that we all have. Welcome to Golden Speakers Toastmasters of Fairfield. Honored guests, honored fellow members. We do have some guests here. It's just so nice to see them. We'll talk to you in just a moment. And our viewers at home. We meet every Tuesday evening right at the Hy-Vee Club Room. Did I say on Tuesdays? On Tuesdays, we're at the west side of the store, the end of the ice cream aisle. There is one exception we're going to have next week. Do not come to Toastmasters next week. Now, that's going to be about the only time you ever hear me say that. Don't come to Toastmasters. Take a break. We're all going to be enjoying the holidays, but we will be back on track again the following Tuesday, which is the 29th. We do have some guests here. Let's go ahead and say hello. Lady on the aisle side.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Ankita. I'm Yuja's daughter.
Usually stand just to have that rush of terror.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ankita. I'm Yuja's daughter. So I'm here to kind of give her support for her speech today and just to enjoy the meeting.
Okay, great.
I'm Nooper, and I am also Neerja's daughter. I am also here to support her, but I also go to school here at MUM. So now that I'm here at this meeting, I'm considering maybe I should join Toastmasters too. So.
Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
Actually, I don't know how many people went to the Chamber Singers over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, but Nooper, you'll recognize her. She was right there in that whole course. It takes quite a lot of work and it's a lot of dedication, which are just the kinds of things that we need here in Toastmasters. But we also have fun. Did you have fun?
I did.
You had fun. Excellent. Beautiful concert. Don't miss that when those come around. The mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. Whether or not you plan on being a speaker in front of a group, self-confidence and personal growth are something you can carry with you anywhere. So those are the muscles that we're working on, and we're having fun and we're supporting each other at the same time. With that, hello, Miss Tabitha. Hi. Good. Is there anything that I need to announce before we launch into our schedule for the evening? We have a really, really nice program. We have someone who is going to be completing her competent communicator. That's always an occasion of joy. And then we have someone who is just again continuing on her next speech. So now after she finishes tonight's speech, I've done 100% more than she did before. But see, she's not even hearing that joke because she's listening. Okay. So with that, I'd like to welcome up our Toastmaster for the evening, Mr. Emery Styron.
Thank you, President Jean, and good evening. Welcome, guests. And good to see you, members, and you viewers at home. We have tonight a cornucopia of role players. And I'm happy to say that
each of them who were assigned are here. So I'd like to introduce several of them right now. Our timer tonight is the incomparable Will Burns.
Our speakers are amazing individuals tonight. They'll be serving us a cornucopia of words in their speeches, but my job is to keep them within limits of time. So if they can say what they want to say without going over time, that would be excellent. For the timing, we have 2 speeches. For Neerja's speech, I will give the green light at 5 minutes. Putting this on. 5, 6, the amber, and the red at 7. And you have a grace period before and after your speech. Raven, same deal, only you have a 8-minute, 9-minute, and 10-minute flights. And then again, a 30-second grace period before and after. For table topics, we have 1 to 2 minutes with a 30-second grace period at the end. And bywaiters, 2 to 3 minutes, as always. Enjoy.
Thank you. Our grammarian tonight is the observant Tabitha Sedgwick.
Thank you, Toastmasters, viewers at home, and guests. The grammarian's role is to introduce new words to members, but also to listen for the use of English language over the course of the meeting. Tonight's new word, or maybe not so new for some of you, is cornucopia. There's some different uses for it. Its original meaning was a mythological horn containing food and drink and an endless supply. And what's mostly it's used for now, and what we can really use it for tonight, is an abundant, overflowing supply of anything in any context. Thank you.
And our odd counter is the very attentive Andal Krishna.
Hi, I'm the accountant for this evening. I'll be counting the R's, ums, and like, you know, and etc. kind of repetitive words. At the end of the meeting, I will let everyone know about the numbers. Thank you.
The general evaluator is Dan Craig. We'll be hearing from him a little later in the meeting, as from Rick Starr, our greeter and jug master. Tonight we'll hear prepared speeches from Neerja and from Raven. We're looking forward to those. I'd like to call our first evaluator, Jean Symington Craig, to read the objectives.
Another great thing about Toastmasters is when the room's a little brisk, you get to clap a lot and it warms your hands up. Yeah, it feels great. Neerja Maheshwari is going to be doing project number 2 of the Competent Communicator Manual tonight. Its project name is called Organize Your Speech. The objectives for the speech are to select an appropriate outline which allows listeners to easily follow and understand the speech, to make the message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message, to use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another, and then to create a strong opening and conclusion. This is really how do you build your content. Excellent, so writing. Neerja moved to Fairfield 3 years ago and did the MBA at MUM and is now working in the business department as an administrator. Her husband works at MUM too. Sounds like she's got a daughter too, so they probably have lunch together every day, or not? No. Well, it's a nice idea. And I have 2 daughters. Oh, she has 2 daughters. I don't have 2 daughters. You have to translate first and third. Okay, she has 2 daughters. She joined the Toastmasters Club to get rid of her fear of public speaking. Now this last sentence, I don't even know if I want to read it, because she says she gets extremely nervous when she speaks in front of an audience. Well, that's, I'm gonna modify it. So she has, in the past, been extremely nervous when she was in front of an audience, and probably still feels it, as do we all. We all get nervous when we're in front. But of course, Toastmasters is the antidote, the practice, working the muscles. Okay, so we're gonna take care of that. Without further ado, let's please warmly welcome Nirja Maheshwari. Impact of organic food.
Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and viewers at home. Do you know that RBGH in milk is banned in most countries, but not in US, not in the US? I want to share my personal story of organic milk journey. I came to this country 25 years ago. I was naive, like any one new person in a new country would be. I did not have any idea what was in the milk. I used to drink milk in the morning and evening in India, and I started drinking here too. 1 year passed, I gained 20 pounds, and I did not have any clue what was happening. I did have my periods for 9 months, and I was gaining weight day by day. But I was still continue enjoying dairy products, yogurt, cheese, the way I used to enjoy in India. Time passed. I'm not saying that it happens to everyone, but my body was very sensitive. And RBGH in the milk was really messing up with my natural rhythm. So it continued for 4 or 5 years, and then I met a person who became a very good friend of mine. She told me one day when we were having dinner at my home, she was very knowledgeable about organic food and healthy eating and all. And she said, do you know organic and non-organic food? I said, what is that? And she said, since I didn't know about organic food, and she told me in great detail. I said, wow, okay, so this is my problem. And I started, because in those days there was no internet. Today, if you don't know anything, just go Google Uncle. Just go and search for a word, and you will see millions of answers for one thing. So I said, okay, I started reading books about organic food and to get more knowledge about it. And I decided after 6 months, I said, I want to do something about it. So I started buying dairy product, organic dairy product, because organic food was very expensive in those days. So I said, if I'll buy everything organic, that won't work for us. My husband was doing PhD, and we didn't have that much money at that time. So I said, okay, let's change dairy products. So I started using organic milk, cheese, and yogurt and all. And surprisingly, after 6 months or so, I started losing weight. I started having regular periods. And I was enjoying. I said, wow, this is amazing. And slowly, I started adding more things in my list, organic list. But today I am 100% organic at home, but I try to eat non-organic when I'm eating out. So if you want organic food, our farmers need to grow organically. Organic food is very good for the environment and for farmers. And it's because legally farmers cannot use artificial fertilizers and herbicide and pesticide in organic food. So they are saved from all the ill effects of non-organic food, and is good for the consumer also. Organic food is good for, it eliminates actually all the superbug problem, because in today's world they use all kinds of antibiotics on farmers. Farmers use all antibiotics and on livestock, and that we ingest and get all these problems, health problems. And they use pesticide. We are not pests. Why do we have to ingest pesticides? So that if we eat organic food, you will avoid all the pesticides and all the hormones and antibiotics. Anyway, this one, and it's good for the farmers. They are the ones who suffer most from non-organic, because they are at the farm all the time and they are working, growing food for us. So it's very good for them. If we demand more organic food, they will be encouraged and they will grow more organic food. So I will suggest you all to buy organic as much as you can, or your pocket allows, and it changed my life, and I feel it will change your life too. Thank you.
Isn't it wonderful to watch as each of us progress in our confidence, comfort in front of the group? Our next evaluator, let's take 2 minutes to evaluate the speaker. And we're back. Now we can call our next evaluator, Rick Starr, to read the objectives for Raven Garland. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Golden Speakers, honored guests, and viewers at home. As Jean mentioned, Raven is completing her Competent Communication Manual today. Congratulations, Raven. Raven teaches music and eurythmy to people of all ages. Tonight she wants to inspire you to both give and receive the gift of music, a gift that belongs to all of us. As I mentioned, Raven is doing Project 10, Inspire Your Audience. An inspirational speech motivates an audience to improve personally, emotionally, professionally, or spiritually, and relies heavily on emotional appeal. The objectives of this speech are to inspire the audience by appealing to noble motives and challenging the audience to achieve a higher level of beliefs or achievement, to appeal to the audience's needs and emotions using stories, anecdotes, and quotes to add drama, and avoid using notes. The title of Raven's speech is The Gift of Music. It's 8 to 10 minutes. Please join me in welcoming Raven.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, Madam President, and viewers at home. Jimmy was small for his age, and he played the piano. I'm going to tell you about Jimmy, but first I want to tell you how it was that I came to be his piano teacher. I learned to play the piano when I was quite young, but when I was 10, there came a beautiful day and I wanted to go outside rather than practice the piano. A fight ensued. My mother put her foot down and she said, "Go out and don't ever ask for piano lessons again." Being the literal child that I was, I took her seriously and I never asked for piano lessons again until I arrived at college. I was 17. I was confused, depressed, anxious, lonely, and still in the midst of my last childhood illness, otherwise known as adolescence. And one day, I was in my dormitory and this piece of paper was on the floor upside down. I picked it up and it was a piece of music by Bach. At that same time, this is a true story, a piano was delivered to our dormitory. It was being donated. So I was the first one to get to play the piano. I sat down, I wasn't sure if I would be able to remember how to read music or if my fingers would still work. But I found out that I could still read the notes, and for me, playing the piano was like riding a bike. I hadn't forgotten how. I changed colleges and majored in music. While I was in school, I got a phone call from one of my professors saying there was a job open at a little music studio in walking distance to my college, and he thought I should apply. I did. I got that job. One of my first students was Jimmy. Jimmy walked a few blocks himself to get to his piano lesson every week. He was really only about this tall. He was not yet 7, very thin, very pale. He showed up every week with his nose running, his eyes crusty, his hands cold. His fingers were so little that it took great effort just to get one note down. But when he did, his face would just light up. Some lessons really were literally 3 notes, and then he would go home and practice that for a week and come back. One thing I wanted to mention, back when my mother said I couldn't take piano lessons anymore, I really felt like a door to heaven had closed forever. And when I picked up that music and could play again, I really felt like a new door opened a room in my heart that hadn't been there before. I suddenly had an inner world where I could go, where I wasn't lonely anymore, I wasn't anxious, life made sense, and it was good. So teaching piano for me was a way to give that same gift to people. Jimmy died when he was 7. When he was no longer able to go to school because he was too tired, couldn't even have friends over, he was still walking once a week to have his piano lesson, which sometimes would still only be 3 notes. But those 3 notes delighted him as much as any music has delighted me. In life, while you're still alive, your soul might need to be saved. Music can save a person's soul. There's a lot of research for how music can heal many physical things now as well. I really feel music is essential to being human, that it can be a very important gift to give to anyone. I would like to recite part of a poem by Maya Angelou, who speaks about the caged bird. Anytime that we're in pain, whether it's emotional pain or we're ill or we're just frustrated, we're having a bad day, it's as if we're in prison. And music, playing music or singing or listening to music can actually help us to release a feeling of freedom. Maya Angelou says that the free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays, and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. Music has actually been that important to me, and I've seen it be that important to many people. In times of great unrest, when people are troubled, it's very good to be able to sing a song to bring us peace. I'm going to give you the gift of music, your own music. I'm going to teach you a short song. I hope that you will sing. As scary as it is to do public speaking, public singing is probably, on steroids, but I'm going to encourage everyone to sing. So I'm glad that we have a singer here. But the words are simply Dona Nobis Pacem. It's Latin, it just means bring us peace. Dona nobis pacem, pacem. Dona nobis pacem. That's it. I'm going to just sing it in a loop, and as soon as you can join in, join in. With my hands, I'm making the pitch go up and down, and that will help you. Dona nobis pacem, pacem. Dona nobis pacem. Dona nobis pacem, pacem. Dona nobis pacem. I'm going to have you not sing this time. I'm still going to do this with my arms. And I want you to kind of tune into this area around your heart. And you might not know the song well enough yet, but you might, while I do this with my hands, actually feel a kind of what could be described as your heart forces move. When we say music moves us, it's literal. So we'll just try it and see. Did anyone? Could you feel that? So I believe we are actually made of music, that there, however you think of it in physics or whatever, there's vibration. For me, it's music that is moving, that creates form, that creates us. And if we can free that music from our hearts, it is a gift to the whole world. It's a gift to us. If we can always have a song in our heart, so that even if we're in a situation where we can't sing out loud, we can sing inwardly. Has anyone got more Christmas presents to buy?
Yes.
I encourage you, if you have anyone on your list, to give them a gift of music, whether it's music lessons. Really, there's a cornucopia of possibilities. You could give lessons, you could give recorded music, you could go serenade them. But I also encourage you to give yourselves the gift of music and to sing or do something musical every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. Wonderful speech, and congratulations on Now let's take 2 minutes to evaluate the speaker. Okay. Be sure to write your name on your evaluation, and so the speakers will know where your comments are coming from. Now, could we have the timer tell us which speaker is qualified?
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster, both of our speakers qualified. Names
Excellent.
are Virja and Raven.
Okay. If you can find your ballot script at your seat, please now vote for the best speaker.
The next stage of our proceedings this evening is table topics evaluation. And our table topics evaluator, Ryan Miller, let us formally welcome him to the lecture.
Ryan, Rana,
Right,
3 to 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes, yeah, we have like so many speakers to
Yeah.
evaluate. Okay, well, the holidays, the theme of the meeting is a great time of year. I don't know if it's the holidays out there right now, it's so warm, it feels like another state that we're in Iowa or something. Feel it, but I think all these stories kind of brought to life the holidays in many ways. Food, and family, and all these things. So to start out, Tabitha, I had no idea. I was with you with the bee ducking thing, but I didn't know what it was. So thanks for explaining. I think you had a great command of your subject. You really knew how to. You were teaching us something, which I thought was excellent. You turned the table topic speech into a lesson for us, and you had good gestures. You were explaining, the zucchini and the duck and the chicken and all the how to create a beak duck, and that's how it's called. So thank you for teaching us something and using your gestures. I would say you take the full 30 seconds, which you said you were going to, but you didn't do. So just that's kind of a typical thing that I find hard to do actually. So on Doll, you talked about Diwali, and I think you did take your 30 seconds. You talked about Christmas and your mother really celebrating Christmas with you when you were a kid. You also have very, what's the word, kind of gentle demeanor, and you're very friendly in your speech. So you're easy to listen to with your topics, table topics. Do-word, I don't have any suggestions for you. For on Doll. Do-word, I think you should start a petition and work on this. I'll sign it. I'll be your first signer of your Xmas or Christmas all year round. I don't know. It's very creative. I think you took an idea that no one has ever thought of before and gave us a good creative story of what the year would be like. And I think I commend you on your very descriptive. So I like how you're very descriptive with your story. What we do on Christmas. What is Christmas? And Ankita, nice job joining us for your first time at Toastmasters. I think you should come back and do more table topics because I have no suggestions for you. You said, I just noticed, I picked up on how you gave a specific example of the Christmas, or no, what was it? How you talked about not liking to go to school and helpless people. I think we can all relate to that. So that was a good example of Christmas, what you like about Christmas. And what else? Yeah, explain a bit maybe about Texas and India, how they differ, just to give us like a more background of your life, like how that differs from the maybe climate or whatever, anything. And Nippur, tradition was your topic. It was really great, stayed on topic. You gave us a couple, you just had a lot of, you stuck to a point, here's the topic, we don't have tradition, and you kind of went into it, and just talked us through what the holidays mean for you, so that was cool. I like that. I like how you seem very confident up here, even though it was your first time giving a table topic speech, so keep coming back. And Emery, 12 gifts. I don't know I didn't listen closely what your topic was, but something about 12 gifts, maybe one for each day of something. The holidays, 12 gifts. Let's see, what did I have for you? Emotional appeal, I kind of, I mean, that really, you gave us a kind of a just honest story of your life and a difficult moment for you and that difficult time for you, and so I think that really drew, you kind of set the space, you're like, this is what happened, and you also talked about, just having what the holidays kind of pay it forward. You had a good way to draw us into a story as well, action as well as an action point. So I try to stick with the details of everybody's speeches. I might not have gotten everything, but that's my overview right now of the table topics speeches for the last table topics of the year.
And now we're going to vote for the best evaluator. Madam Timer, can you tell us the names of the evaluators that qualify?
Yes, Jean Symington Craig and Rick Starr.
And we're back. Now at this time, we're going to have our reports from our role players. So first I'm going to ask Raven to give us the timers report.
For the speeches, we had Mirja at 5 minutes and 56 seconds, Raven at 9 minutes and 15 seconds. In table topics, Tabitha was 2 minutes 10 seconds, Andal 2 minutes 1 second, Dude 1 minute 7 seconds. Mirja daughters. One was 1 minute 27, the next one was 1 minute 47. Emery was 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So, Jean Symington Craig was 3 minutes and 35 seconds, Rick Starr was 3 minutes and 9 seconds, Connor Miller was 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
Now we're going to have a report from our grammarian, Tabitha.
As usual, Toastmasters meetings are a cornucopia of knowledge and stories and beautiful self-growth in our speaking skills. I really enjoyed everyone's talks tonight. Rick, I really appreciated how you said you were going to build, how you acknowledged Raven's ability to build the emotionality of her stories and her speech, and that it was an emotional journey that Raven led us on. Also appreciated how you recognized that there were two levels of something happening there, one with the structure, the other with the level of feeling, so that was really nice. Jean, referring to Mirja's relatability, she said, we all eat. So we can definitely relate, and about her call to action, she said, punchy and powerful. I really liked those words that she used. Andal did a great job at painting a picture of the tents and the people sleeping on the sidewalks in the cold. Mirja, you mentioned that you were naive, just like anyone would be coming to a new country. And just like Jean mentioned, your quote about we're not pests, that got everybody's attention. Yeah, we're not. Raven, such a beautiful speech, integrating your own knowledge with song and with quotes and with your story and with Jimmy's story was beautiful, all those things coming together. When you said that Jimmy, it took a lot for Jimmy just to get one note down, but once he did, his whole face would light up. That really got my attention And it was a beautiful juxtaposition in that sentence of the struggle and then the light of it all. You also said that a door opens to a room in your own heart. And you also used the words in time of great unrest. So all of that was just beautiful language. Art. I just like that you mentioned, I don't know, is he here?
You just stepped out for a minute.
That's okay. It's for him, so. Deward. One day of not Christmas. Something you said that really stuck out for me was how would we even gear down from something like that? So I just took note of that. Was powerful language. Thank you.
Now let's hear a report from our counter on Doc.
Thank you. Jean, 1 life, 1 cheek. Nirja, 3 souls, 3 and. Rhyme, 8 up, 5 1 life, 4 soul, 15 and kind of. Tabitha, 2 2 souls and 4 and. Bell, 1 bell. Andal, 2 1 like. I don't know what's the rocks. Okay. Thank you for that.
Now we're going to ask Rick Starup to tell us a joke.
Thank you, Mr. Whatever your role is. Mr. General Evaluator. A quote from Dave Barry about the holiday season.
Oh, great.
The holiday season is a deeply religious time that each of us observe in his or her own way by going to the mall of your choice.
Now it's my turn to evaluate the evaluators. We had Jean, Rick, and Brian doing evaluations tonight. First, Jean, evaluating Nirja. An excellent job. She gave her good suggestions to explain her terms, to watch the pacing. She praised her humor, her conclusion. So she succeeded in encouragement and suggestions for improvement, which is the fundamental job of the evaluator. It's difficult to find a suggestion for Jean. The only thing I could think of was that at least twice, as you were going through the points, you were kind of backtracking. You begin to talk and you say, but I'll get to that in a minute. And so if you could just organize your thoughts a bit better, that would work well. And then Rick, giving an evaluation of Raven's speech. It was a wonderful speech, and I think you gave me an evaluation that really did it justice. A very nice technique of explaining that you wanted to talk not only about the points in the manual, but also the emotional appeal to you. And I thought you succeeded in that very well. The only suggestion I can think of for you is perhaps movement on the stage. You did come out from behind the lectern. I think it might be better if you come speak to this side a little more. I think most of us are sort of right-handed and we talk more to the right side. Maybe that's the case. But really a very nice evaluation, both of you. Well done. I didn't quite agree with your suggestion to Raven, but I guess that's not really what I'm up here to talk about. So I thought the way that she did it with having the silence and then the call to action at the end was the best way to do it. But hey, that's just me. And then Ryan Prana, evaluating the table topics. I thought you did a nice job of beginning with some appreciative remarks about the holidays and all the nice stories that you've heard. I thought the other thing you did really well was you had appreciation for everyone who spoke, which is a very important point. The thing that you didn't succeed in so well was the suggestions, which can be pretty tricky when you're trying to deal with table topic speakers. But if you can just observe, mostly speaking techniques, that's often a good thing to give feedback on. If you could tell somebody, when you're speaking, give eye contact to everybody in the room. Or when you're giving your table topics, treat it like a speech and come to the front and then talk to this side and talk to that side. Just small things there that you can observe that are good pointers for anyone to help them with their presentations. And the other thing is, have to watch the time, but it's kind of a special case doing so many people. That is it for me. I think it's time for me to call the Toastmaster back up for the reward. Evaluator for that excellent evaluation of evaluation. And it's now my privilege to present the meeting awards. I would like to first present the award for Best Speaker. Drum roll, please. Raven. Wonderful, wonderful speech and
CC 10?
yeah, achieving your competent communicator manual and keep me on my toes here. And drum roll, please. And I'm going to go out on a limb with our best table topics speaker, because I think I got the name, but I'm not sure.
Yes.
Remaining for Nirja. Congratulations, and as Jean noted, you've doubled your output today. I'd now like to turn the meeting over to Jean Symington Craig, our president.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I don't know about you, but tonight's meeting really has put me in the mood for heading into the holidays. We had some very heartfelt sharing and comments, and I don't know about you, we've had gratitude as a theme. I just feel gratitude for all of you, and I think that's part of what the holidays are too. It's just gratitude. I look out, it's just so great to see everybody here. I had a couple of thoughts. I don't know whether to start with the light, funny one, and then work into the heavier one, or start the heavier one and get you all, and then do the light one. Maybe I should just get the light one out of the way. and then we'll do it. So, the Toastmaster, the general evaluator, and the table topics masters are clap leaders. And we've talked about this before. Sometimes though, you're carrying something, so how do you clap when you have something in your hand? Aha! Ladies, we know the answer to this. The clutch position. Men, if you don't know, there are bags that ladies carry, they're called clutches, and the position is under the arm, like this. Now look, the benefits of that is I have figured it out. So, for everyone who's got roles like that, if you like to carry something with you when you come up and down, just know you can very quickly slide it in here and then you're good to go. I thought it was brilliant myself. Okay, now on a little deeper note, so congratulations to Raven, and actually we had Ryan Prana earlier in the month, and we've had Annalisa Fredrickson, and when you complete your competent communicator, sometimes it feels like, oh, I've crossed the finish line and I'm done. And I want to just tell you that you have just begun. I know that can easily be depressing. Like, well, what have I been doing? But it actually, now you have your toolbox, completed toolbox, and you're ready to get into the advanced manuals. And there's a cornucopia of manuals that you can decide which ones you want to go for. And you can ask us, some of us who have done a number of manuals, you can ask for suggestions, but ultimately, after you complete your competent communicator, you've already paid for your 2 advanced manuals. So those get to come in free, supposedly, at this point, because you don't remember giving the money way back. So it feels like it's free. So Raven, when you talk to Rick, you give him your competent communicator manual, and then you'll also be able to you also want to tell him which advanced manuals you want to have. But this is where you start really having the rubber meet the road. That's an American, is that American totally? Do you guys know what that is? Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, okay. Colloquialisms and little slander things. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to encourage you. So sometimes, we take a break in the holiday, we eat fruitcake and all of that stuff, which is what I would have talked about, Art, if you had talked about food.
I ate lots of opportunities.
I know, fruitcake, I know, it's a much maligned
True.
food, that it's unfortunate. But, and then we're going to come back, we're going to be really ready to go with our goals for 2016. And again, I'm encouraging everyone to look at where your next level is, be thinking about that during the holidays, and then be ready to go. We want Rick picking up the phone, can't, people are calling in, schedule me. Okay. Right. I want to also just say quickly, we're done. Okay, so one last little thing. Sometimes we have emotions in meetings. This is just the little delicate part. Sometimes people are up here telling things that they have never really been able to talk about. In fact, it could be the thing that actually has held their tongue, the cat's got their tongue, because there's some emotional thing going on. So we always, because we are supportive golden speakers of all of our members, we take that in, we are supportive, and so we accept and we encourage and we enjoy all ranges of emotions. And that's just what I wanted to say about that, because we do have, people have things that they'll talk about and it brings up a little emotion, but honestly I think it adds flavor to the speech and it helps the person too.
Safe space.
It's a safe space, this is a safe space, and honestly.
People can request the camera to go on.
No, I think we just keep going. Usually, everyone manages it well, it's just, that's what can happen sometimes, it's just spontaneous. If you're really breaking down and you're sobbing, yeah, we'll probably turn the camera off and buy you some ice cream or something. Yeah, it'd work. I mean, it works other times, right? Ice cream works when you're upset. All right. Okay.
Jared has a plan now.
Give us fruitcake.
All right, he's gonna game the system. Yeah, you may get fruitcake instead.
Real tears then.
Okay, well, I think we're done. Just want to, yes, Rick, and Rick is gonna reinforce them.
I'd just like to offer the club's thanks to Annalisa, who's not here, to Prana, and to Raven for completing your CC manuals and helping the club get Distinguished Club Program Award. So thank you.
Raven did a speech at a Toastmasters Club. She found one down in Nashville just so she could get her timing in because we needed to have her completion done. So she was a real hero and she was trying to get everything done, and it's just, I'm gonna give extra kudos to you for that, for doing that. And on kudos, yeah. Extra kudos, everyone have happy holidays. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Meeting's adjourned.